Back with Niall Stanage, White House columnist for The Hill. Who benefits from this whisper campaign against Joe Biden, seemingly by Democrats, that he may not run, despite everything that he said publicly, and his wife's even said publicly, that he will?
I think Republicans probably benefit. It's not obvious to me whether any potential Democratic candidate benefits. And of course, one of the advantages that President Biden has, Leland, is that there is no really compelling alternative. Vice President Harris has her own problems. Pete Buttigieg has his own problems. There isn't some sort of Senator Barack Obama around 2007 out there as an alternative.
Yeah, I guess the question is there a Ted Kennedy-esque kind of spoiler or a Pat Buchanan-esque spoiler? This is from the Politico article, which just a couple of days ago talked about Democrats wondering if he's going to run in 2024. So conceivably, it's not Republicans leaking it. Democratic Governors J.B. Pritzker of Illinois, Gavin Newsom of California, Phil Murphy of New Jersey have taken steps that could be seen as aimed at keeping the door cracked if Biden bows out, though with enough ambiguity to give them plausible deniability. Senators like Bernie Sanders and Amy Klobuchar have been making similar moves. Obviously, Pete Buttigieg, as you pointed out, has stepped in it pretty bad. Jared Polis, Democrat of Colorado, governor of Pennsylvania, probably a little bit young and early in his career to run. Is there any attempt by the White House to slam the door on these people or punish them if they're seen as creating a campaign in waiting?
There was certainly some skepticism, to put it mildly, about Governor Newsom at one point. He, I think, was maybe the most prominent or the most ostentatious in putting himself forward while also denying that he wasn't doing so. The White House found that, I think, broadly disingenuous on his part, and they were displeased about it. But there was no real attempt to punish him. I think the White House hopes that the slamming of the door is the presumed announcement by the president that he is going to run again.
Is there any discussion by the White House about how long they can hold off and what the benefit is of even allowing this kind of whisper campaign?
I'm not sure that there is very much benefit. Now, one point on timing, Leland, is, as you know, fundraising reports are very, very closely scrutinised in politics generally, and particularly at the presidential level. And obviously, at this stage, they're done on a quarterly basis. So there could perhaps be an advantage to leaving it toward the end of the first quarter when you're not risking lacklustre early results for a sitting president. But beyond that, I think the longer you wait, the more there is that kind of whispering, the more it allows doubts to fester. So I would think that they'd be better getting out there sooner rather than later.
Yeah, for sure. It makes you wonder sort of why the White House is allowing this to happen. It's fascinating. Niall, great reporting as always. We're glad we got the technical things ironed out. Have an awesome weekend, my friend. Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.